Then we get Jupiter in Leo in the second half of this year. So June 30th, 2026 through July 26th, 2027, Jupiter leaves Cancer and goes into Leo. Jupiter transits roughly like one sign for a year at a time, giving some kind of like protection and luck and good fortune, some wisdom and knowledge and expansion or growth in the realms of that sign and the house of your chart where it is. So this is great for Leos, who are ruled by the sun. It's fixed fires, like sustaining the fire. You can think of like the campfire and like the person who likes to like sustain it. Like my husband loves that, like just to keep it going. Self-expression, right? Like keep the warmth happening all the time. Self-expression, children, play, it's entertainment. It's about leadership and authority and loyalty, courage, confidence, generosity, dignity, pride, warmth, determination. It's a sign of self-love and reminders to love oneself, the way that a child does before they are kind of interrupted by the world, is whole unto themselves and automatically kind of is this like creative being and expressive person who loves themselves, right? If they are not interfered with. Possibilities include like growth for artists, expanded self-expression, personal growth, like sticking to one's convictions or opinions could be good, could be bad, depending on the conviction or opinion. But like getting very fixed on convictions or opinions could be a Jupiter in Leo thing. Learning more about oneself, a surge in bravery and confidence, or maybe a push to be brave, like some kind of challenge that requires one to be braver. Ultimately, good luck. Good luck in creative endeavors, general good fortune, especially for like Leo, sun, moon, rising. Financial growth or expanded generosity can also be overspending with Jupiter. So like the expansion goes both ways. Opportunities to step into leadership or positions of authority, developments for children in education, and inner child healing. Jupiter was last in Leo from July 16th, 2014 through August 11th, 2015. So if you think about what was going on for you from like 2014 through 2015, that may have something to do with your Jupiter and Leo transit next and what you might do differently or start based on this knowledge of the past. Saturn will be trine Jupiter. So Saturn in Aries, trine Jupiter in Leo, August 31st, 2026. And there's a Jupiter-Pluto opposition on July 20th. So Pluto being in Aquarius, anything in Leo has to oppose Pluto. And so there is this kind of like major opposition, major tension between these two big players, Pluto being much more long-term and much more kind of immobile, right? In the way like death is immobile, like we all must face it. It doesn't really yield for anyone, right? Like so Jupiter having to face Pluto means Jupiter is not necessarily winning that battle, right? Like it's a little bit weaker, but then the Saturn trine Jupiter helps to stabilize what Jupiter is trying to accomplish. So I also don't think that I think that I mentioned it in later slides, but I should have put it on this slide as well, the Jupiter Neptune trine, because if Jupiter is trine Saturn, then Jupiter is also trine Neptune at some point. So let's see if I can find that in my notes. Otherwise, I will get to it on the later slide. But yeah, Jupiter goes into Leo and things get very fiery. There's a lot of harmony between the Leo and Aries transits at this point. Some tension with the Aquarius kind of collective or what's trying to be reborn through Aquarius. And perhaps some good tension there as well between what's good for us, what gives us abundance, faith, and wisdom, and what's ending too soon, perhaps. Okay, and then those Jupiter opposite Pluto, July 20th. Okay, the Jupiter-Neptune trine is also July 20th, so I should have put that on this slide, but I overlooked it for some reason at the time that I was making the slide. And Jupiter also makes a sextile to Uranus on July 21st. So those are very like key dates there. Again, it's like June 30th that Jupiter goes into Leo, but immediately starts making big aspects to some of the major players because they're in fire signs, and then Uranus is in Gemini. So yes, Jupiter opposes Pluto, which is part of the Jupiter-Pluto cycle, but makes a trine to Neptune and a sextile to Uranus. So a lot of what Jupiter wants to expand still can happen, but there may be something dissolving in the vein of Neptune and Saturn at the same time.